I love is there's a channel called Vsauce. It's an educational video channel on YouTube. Some of you know and love it. Michael Stevens owns it. And he effectively, like pontificates on sort of, very ostensibly mundane topics like how to tie your shoe, or like, what is like the origins of light and all those sorts of things. But the way that he phrases it is very interesting and surprising. So one example is he was talking about how, when light comes through, whatever, I'm going to expose my ignorance now to science, when light comes through whatever layer on top of the earth exists, it goes and fractures into a prism, and then actually that's what we consume and it becomes light. But in fact, it's actually a spectrum of light that we see. Anyway, the point is, the video title is called This Is Not Yellow, and his thumbnail is yellow. Right? This is surprising because to anyone who is not colorblind, that is actually yellow. So I love, how David said, you really want to evoke that surprise element as well.
And just one last thing I should mention, that like the blog post I just put up, which actually did well, and I think a lot of it has to do with that title. I spent a long time rewriting that title. I had about 7 different versions of it, and then once I hit that, I go, oh, that's the one. So don't think your first one's going to work. Test it on some friends even. But yeah, always rework the title.
We write 50 titles for every video we produce, and we test them out, so it's really important.
And you should update them over time as well, right?
Right. And just to help promote you and what you do, since going with my other channel, the monetization and the YouTube partner process in that has been wonderful and streamlined and very helpful and engaging. So I encourage anyone who's making content on YouTube to use the services provided.
I'll give you your $100 after.
Hi, my name is Abdul. I have a question for Ben. First of all, thank you for an awesome night and valuable discussion for all of us. I was sitting there since I submitted my video with the competition, and I noticed that the views freezed at certain, like 301, and I was looking at mine and checking it, and it was freezed at 10,000 something since I submitted 2 days ago, but it was disqualified for copyright reasons, so I trust those guys. Why it's freezed? Why the views updated 12 hours, every 12 hours or something like that? Why it's not instant?
So we dedicate a lot of resources to ensuring that our servers are really robust. If there are view count disparities that you see, the 301 in particular is us processing to make sure that those views are actually authentic. Something that we care about very deeply, that is what our fans and what our creators care about, is the views are authentic, right? It's not good for the platform, it's not good for advertisers, not good for consumers if someone is just spam botting, as it were, a video, right? So just sort of artificially creating views for the video. We want it to be authentic. Beyond that, I'm unfortunately not an expert in this area, so I couldn't say it, but I can follow you up.
Okay, the other question is, why there is like 10,000 heads videos on the front page of YouTube, sometimes that, like Kim Kardashian just filming her dinner or whatever, and she's on the front page, and of course it's gonna get like 10 million views within a week. So who made those decisions? Just
is the question, why do the videos on the homepage exist? You're like,
yeah,
well, how
the front page of YouTube when you open the front page.
Yeah. So the homepage actually evolved a lot. So actually, to make sure we're on the same page, YouTube again is a platform, so we do not curate content on the platform. It is up to the fans, it's up to the audience, and frankly, it's up to the creators to see how much they upload and what they upload. So with regards to what you see on your homepage, it's actually based on whom you're subscribed to. So if, for instance, I am subscribed to, pardon? I suppose they're chuckling because perhaps you're subscribed to Kim Kardashian, which is not something, which is not something to be ashamed of. We all have our interests. As well as from many places. Come on now. So one of my favorite YouTube partners are called the Vlog Brothers. These two very savvy, there we go, good man. Two very savvy gentlemen from, what is it, Minnesota, Idaho, Minnesota, Montana. There it is. There it is. They've moved. But I subscribe to them, and because I've subscribed to them, and because the algorithm knows I like watching them, their videos naturally show up on my homepage because it knows that's what I'm interested in.
If you are signed in. If I'm not signed in and just open the YouTube page, why those videos are on my homepage while I'm not signed in?
This is something that is we can follow up on after, but generally we try to have a good representation of everything that is on the platform. You know, things that are entertaining, things that are sort of enlightening or educational, you know, so forth and so on.
Yeah.
So we do want to make sure it's a very sort of, you know, broad experience.
Sure. I can actually address this. If you go to youtube.com/charts, you will see there's like most viewed videos, and at the bottom there are popular videos around the web. And when you look at the view count in a lot of those videos, you will actually see these discrepancies where like a third video, most popular video on the web, will have like 10,000. 10,000 is not a reflection of the amount of views it actually has. It's 10,000 is the amount of views that YouTube is reflecting during that time. In reality, the reason why it's being ranked as third is because on the back end, the YouTube recognizes that this video is growing really, really fast. Not because it's a number third spot, but because there's a lot of people watching it, because it was embedded in like a bunch of blogs, maybe it's on Reddit's homepage. And YouTube recognizes this growth on the back end. It might not be reflecting it in real time, but it's recognizing it. Because I mean, that's what happens, you know, with a lot of campaigns we do for clients that are for millions of views. Like our videos will end up on homepage, our videos will end up in this like #1 spot on the most popular videos, and they will even say like, you know, 10,000 views, like a similar case. But we know from our analytics that like already 500,000 people watch this particular video. So YouTube just doesn't, right now at the point, doesn't update view count in real time. And what happens in the back end is the video is actually being watched by a lot of people, and it's growing really fast. And it's the growth rate of that video that is being accounted for when it's being ranked as a most popular video, not the actual view count.
Thank you very much, guys.
And if you haven't seen it, there's a wonderful video on YouTube that's a parody commercial for a company that will hire people to click links.
Thanks, gentlemen. Just a quick question for Bing. You guys are pushing into sort of the premium content space and premium production space. Is the YouTube brand sort of getting in the way or evolving in some way? Because I can't speak for everybody here, but sort of it's either the cats or it's the music videos. But you never see great short film or great web series start to go viral. You see the spectrum of stuff, but never that. Is that because the brand, you know, or is it a function of the time people watch videos and 4 minutes is too much of an investment and 30 seconds I can handle?
It's a fantastic question. I actually would be curious to hear how Zach feels about this as well, because he's produced a lot of content on the platform too. Let's say 3 things. So I'd say number 1, I don't like the word premium. And I don't like it for the same reason that I question the word quality. And it's simply because, let's explore premium a little bit. I actually come from traditional media, as it were, right? And so I come from the world of, you know, storyboarding really robustly, like, you know, 4-year production timelines and so forth. And so in that sense, some people associate that with premium. You sometimes find that content doesn't do well, right?
Absolutely.
So that's the first thing I'd say. The second thing I would say is, I think YouTube, and this is not a throwaway statement, I mean this, I literally look at thousands of channels every year, literally, right? It's not my job, but it's something I should do and I enjoy, right? There's an incredible corpus of content on YouTube. Some has been discovered by some people, others by others. And so, you know, the notion that you don't see sort of, you know, thoughtful filmmakers, for instance, or, you know, a thoughtful independent musician. It's more, I think, of just what we are able to discover on the platform, and less about what actually exists on the platform. There is, and it will always be, and has always been, incredible content on YouTube. The final thing I would say is, in terms of our investments, YouTube wants to be a really meaningful place for sort of what we call Generation C, as it were, right? So I won't bore you with what that actually stands for, but effectively it's most people in this room, right? Under 35-year-old, highly engaged, love media, want to be in the know, want to be connected to each other, yada, 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 right? And so that means different things to different people, right? To some people, they love Jenna Marbles, a sassy, really clever, really funny, really sort of transparent girl, right? To others, that means they want to see a Felicia Day, right? Someone who sort of is in the middle of new media and traditional media, right? And we're certainly investing in all areas, right? We invested in a slate of sort of original programming last year, our new funded channels. Many of those were independent creators who grew up on the platform. We've invested in producing a great studio space, 3 of them actually around the world. Those are for independent creators. So I would look at it less as, you know, potentially what you may hear and see and so forth. If you look at everything that we're investing in, we are investing in the next generation of all creators, right? Whether you are a traditional media company or you are an aspiring Justin Bieber.
Right, and then I guess a quick follow-up. Since you guys are just a platform and there's like 72 hours uploaded every minute, how are you guys bubbling up the people that you want to bubble up? Or is the impetus on the content creator to bubble themselves up, and YouTube is like, hey, we put money in you, but that's kind of all on you?
It's both, right? So to an extent, we can't just, we're a platform, so we don't cherry pick people out from day one, and, frankly, it's not in our expertise to say, oh, you, based on your first view, will be incredible, right? It's very tough for us to say,
absolutely.
Right? And so to an extent, you have to, perform well on the platform and prove yourself to the community, for the community, right? Secondly, though, I would say is we do have a slate of promotional programs, whether they are, actual programs where we pay for promotion on, across the web, which we already do, or we actively go out and get you press, or we actively link you up with other creators, so forth and so on. So we do have that gamut of activities, but we usually invoke those activities, once you perform to a certain degree on the platform. Again, simply because we want to know that the community likes you, right?
All right, thank you.
Just to add one thing is just the platform. I mean, YouTube is a platform, but it isn't agnostic. You see different types of content on every video platform. So you see a certain it's diverse, but you see a certain type of content on YouTube. You'll see a very different type of content on Vimeo. You'll see a very different type of content on Blip. And so you should think about, as creators, which platform is best for you. We are a YouTube company. We create content pretty much exclusively for YouTube. But if you're making a different type of, maybe a short film, it might be that a different platform is better for you. And I love you, Bing, but there's different platforms. YouTube is amazing. We love it,
true.
but there's lots of different platforms.
Well, isn't it Vimeo that is trying to position itself as the platform for serious filmmakers, just as a branding effort?
I don't work at Vimeo, so I couldn't say, but I would agree with Zach that you should do what's in the best interest of your brand and, with the content that you make, whatever that may be.
All right, thanks.
And just to let you know, I think we have time for everybody who's in line now to ask a question, but that'll wrap it up. So if you have a question and we're thinking of getting in line, don't.
Sure. Hi, my name is Christian Bustos, youtube.com/lyrical opposition. My question is about the YouTube partner program. I wanted to know if putting out too many videos affects your chances of getting approved or getting partnered, like putting out hella videos and put hella quantity out and no quality, just putting them out.
Whether you want to be a channel with lots of content, low quality, or a channel of fewer videos and higher quality is completely up to you, right? It doesn't affect your chances of becoming a partner. As long as you're producing original content, you can become a partner simply by checking that sort of box inside your account. And as you perform even better and better, and engage with the platform, engage with the community, the volume of our resources then increases as well, right? So you start to unlock things like access to our space in LA or Tokyo or London if you're there, right? Funding programs, promotional programs, and so forth. But in terms of your eligibility for the partner program, it definitely does not affect.
Okay, so the inconsistencies of the counts, say one video has 30,000 and you have 20 videos with 100 views, and you're yeah, that's my question.
No, not at all. I mean, we very much want to be that open platform. We know that the creative world has, it ebbs and flows, right? Sometimes you got to hit, sometimes you got to build a lull. It's part and parcel to what happens in the industry. So the answer is no, that does not affect your eligibility as long as, again, you're making original content. And that almost is more of an issue to your fans, right? Your fans want to see consistent stuff. They expect a schedule from you and all that. But it definitely does not affect your eligibility with us.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot.
I want to make it easy for everybody.
If you have one video, you can start being a YouTube partner.
That's correct.
View count, video count, none of that matters. As long as you have an account and a video, you can become a partner.
That's correct. My favorite joke, by the way, in our industry is if the video does not have a view, is it still a video? The answer is it depends on what platform you're on.
My name is Brian. My question is that, one, all the information that you gave tonight has been very wonderful. When you consult with studios or filmmakers in general, what specific advice to them do you give?
In what context?
In terms of increasing their views, increasing views to their channel. Is there anything specific or different that you would say to them other than the stuff that you said tonight? I mean, because for example, if you're talking to, like you said, a B2B business, there's specific things, that you would say to them as opposed to, I'm thinking a filmmaker would more so say, I just need a blunt number of views. The more views, the better.
I mean, film has not, that's the constant, right? The tools have changed. So think about the tools that you have at your disposal with YouTube, and go to youtube.com/creators/
Partners.
playbook. No, the playbook, the creators.
Yeah, the playbook, sorry.
So go consult the creators playbook that YouTube provides and see, how do I optimize my content? What's important? Is it the thumbnails like Bing talked about? Is it a constant schedule, releasing content regularly? Is it speaking to a niche audience? Is it engaging influencers? Think about the tools. But filmmaking, video, I mean, that is constant. That's the creative side of this whole conversation, that you have to make really good stuff that people are going to like. I mean, there's nothing that's changed about that. It's just the tools at your disposal. So really optimizing your content for the platform.
Well, no, what I mean more so is, okay, you have, let's just say you make something, the content is great. Is there a different strategy that you would say, okay, to someone who's in the film industry as opposed to like